We were waiting on some more time, and I saw some, but I was just, more about those are and she would eat, were delicious. So he was working on the eats, so he was still there, but they were there, they were there, 6 o'clock.
Okay, my watch is 7:30, so we'll, get started. Briaroaks City Council meeting is ready to go. Okay. Carolyn, you call us roll, please.
Mayor Mabry,
Here.
Councilmember Bode,
Here.
Phillip Laux,
Here.
Jack Perkey, Terri Witcher, Carolyn Johnson. Here. Everybody's present. We do have a quorum.
Okay, the first agenda is the discussion on CPA. We had a firm sent to us by one of our citizens. I called them and they do not do audits.
Well, sir, if I can speak on that, there was a kind of a combo on that email. And there is one firm on here that does, the one he gave at fsteele@andersoncpa.com, not the Estes Armstrong Early of Cleveland. So there is another CPA on here, there's 2.
Oh, that was my mistake.
So I know, I figured that was, I called them in Cleveland too, and they told me they didn't. But then I looked down here, and the email address is different than the one on top. So it is the Anderson/CPA is the one. There's 2.
No.
So I called the Andersons/CPA, and they do city audits.
And what was there?
I did talk to them, and they gave me a list of items that they would need for us, and that's really why I wanted to put this on the agenda, because they need stuff from us prior to them saying that they will work with us, and we need approval to do that, not just for this CPA, but for any that anybody else has come up with as well, because we should, check more than one. Because we don't.
AJ?
Yeah, I've checked, I've got calls into a half a dozen, and these are the only people I've heard back from. The name that I put on the email was what I was given with that different phone number. So I called and talked to Mr. Steele, and that's the email that he gave me. So I was given the wrong information of the company, but the right telephone.
Yeah.
And I've got calls into half a dozen other, and I've got nothing back from anyone except this one CPA firm.
It seems when you're a smaller city,
Right.
they don't. They're
Right.
a needle in a haystack, and I talked to that man too.
Mr. Steele? Yeah.
Excuse me, that's understandable, which one do I cross out?
All of them, but,
No, what you have in your hand is correct. This is what he sent to Mr. AJ, sent to Kelly, and Kelly
But I
sent to
have
us.
it.
Yeah, I haven't handed that out to the
Okay.
city.
Okay.
yeah, the email's correct.
If y'all just pass this around. This is the information that he's requesting that to basically someone give us.
And thank you,
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you for that. That wasn't an easy task.
The first one I called, the one that called back. There's some that just didn't do them, and there's some that didn't return my calls.
Yeah, I had that with the attorney too. So I also called, well, this is the attorney that I gave out originally. I don't know if y'all want to look at them together or just look at the CPA or look at the attorney as well. Because that is both on the discussion and possible action.
Terri, will you post what's required on the webpage, so we can see it at a later date.
Do what?
I was asking if you could post what the CPA is requesting, so we can see it as the city.
Can you read this? What the CPA is requiring?
Do you mind if I pass one around? If she just posts it at a later date, that's fine, I just want to see, so we can look at it.
It's pretty standard. I mean, anybody would need to know how far back you're going.
Yeah, there's only 5 things on here. And it says audit, how far back do we want to go? Which we should, talk about that. I say maybe we should,
Can we read it first?
financial statements detailed what we receive at council meetings. Year-end information for 12/31/2020, approved budgets, anything to do with year-end. Accounting systems used, QuickBooks, things like that. Comparison, cost of budget line items. Could request additional items as well depending upon what they receive from us on the items above.
Standard stuff.
Very standard.
Okay.
I definitely wasn't gonna answer those questions. I have no idea.
Oh, well, I'm not sure about some of them as well, but your information, it had to be something the secretary would do.
Okay, do I hear a motion that we give this, his name is Steele?
The CPA's name, the man that I talked to is Frank Steele. He is the CPA with the firm of Anderson Marks Bode.
Okay. Do I have a motion that we give this firm the information that they are inquiring about?
I motion that we get the firm information they're asking for to proceed forward, but with council approval.
I'm sorry. I don't understand. I think we need to discuss, because he's asking how far back we need to, we have to discuss these answers before we give him that information.
Now that when we do, how far back do we need to go? Because otherwise, I'm not telling them right off the bat, the first question they just asked.
Right, because, I mean, that could greatly affect the price of this thing. We may be in great disagreement about what kind of audit we need.
And how thorough, it will be.
Yeah. I'm saying it's,
I did tell the gentleman the budget that we had to work with, so he may not remember, but I don't know if he asked you that or not, but I did give him this is where we have to be on the budget, so.
as I understand it, we're exploring whether or not we're gonna hire this new one, right?
Well, it's
Not
kind of-
discussing if we're sending them the information.
These are kind of the other way around. A lot of these
Well, that
attorneys
makes
and
sense.
CPAs, they want to determine if they're going to work with us. Because.
But they need these answers before. they-
Right. Mhm. So I say the audit, why don't we look at when, we had any changes? Because we can go back to the beginning,
No,
couple of years.
Okay. it's-
I'd say 5 years.
That's what I was thinking, of 5
That
years.
covers the 2 past mayors and president.
yeah, it's more than reasonable. 3 years, 5 years. It greatly affects the price.
I guess we could do 3 to 5.
If we found something wrong, we could go back to that.
That's easy.
But I happen to know Briaroaks has operated without this for 50-something years because there was never a question, there was never a doubt. I'm not saying it was right, I know it needs to be fixed, but it's why it was never done. There was never anything out of balance, there was never anything missing. So, I don't think we need to spend all our money on the most in-depth, most thorough, furthest back audit we can get, when this is a double check. This is a reassurance. This isn't a let's find where the problem is, kind of an audit, in my opinion.
This will solve any question that anybody might.
This needs to reassure everyone,
Yeah, right.
and it's a baseline that we can start from, because yes, it should have been done all along, but that's what we were talking about, right? It should have been done all along. The reason it was never done, there was never a question. Nothing ever came back out of balance. No, that's my opinion. That's how I understood it. Nobody else is saying anything, so I don't know if you want to throw rocks at me or agree with me.
I agree.
I agree we need the audit, but I don't think we need to go back 10 years to every detail
Well,
we
I
can.
don't think we should go back.
No, that's what I'm saying. We don't need to spend our money on the most, we're not digging for something wrong. We're making sure everything's right as a baseline to do it from now on, in my opinion.
Yes, I say 3 years, and then if anything shows up, then we can go.
If anything's wrong, we can do more.
You need a starting point.
there's a right way to do accounting type stuff, so it needs to be, even if it's online, there's a certain way it needs to be done.
Now, if we tell them that and they say, no, you can only do, 4 years, 5 years, that's something different. Not counting, obviously.
They would still need to look at their procedures over those 2 years to kind of give us an idea of what we're doing right, and what we're doing wrong. So that's
Yes, we can learn a lot, yes.
Really, he just needs for the financial statements and all of that, just for the very last city council meeting that we had, it's closer to 12/31, closer to the end of the year. And the county systems, I don't think we do, but I don't know. And do we have a comparison cost of budget? And I think we have that. It doesn't have to be for the whole thing. We shouldn't waste our time to do it because they haven't said they're gonna work with this year. We just need to give them a sample of it. Like the end of the last year. Because then if they say that they will, say we're gonna start in 3 years, then we should go from there. And we determine if we wanna work with this firm or not.
Okay, the motion's been made. Do I hear a second?
Well, did we make a motion to go
Well,
back?
he made the motion, and I'm asking that for a second.
I need to know if we're gonna start in 3 years. Do we make a motion to start at a 3-year audit and give the CPA the information that he's requesting? Are we gonna do that? Make a motion for that?
Now you're gonna put another motion on the floor. We've already got one. You want to rescind?
It wasn't in second, so.
Okay.
I'll second the second motion.
All right.
I'll second the motion that we start for 3 years and see if the CPA will do it.
Given the
That
firm
makes sense.
the information.
Okay. I was.
Okay, I have a motion that we give Anderson, Marks, and Bowl the information that they requested.
That's what I'm asking.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
That's my job.
I was waiting.
Thank you.
Okay, sir. Okay, and I made a motion.
That's one for you.
Okay, I got some marquee.
One more.
So-
You're in trouble. Okay?
Now, did the motion pass that we good for 3 years? They're on that?
He's getting it.
Yeah,
Okay.
for years.
Okay, I make a motion that we ask for the audit to be started with 3 years. You got a second?
There again, that's my job.
I just step up and do it. I'm sorry, did I say it?
Just
Take it over.
say
Okay, I have a motion to start the audit off for 3 years. I put up a motion to that.
Okay? Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second? All in favor?
We can't hear you, Jack. You gotta speak up.
Okay.
Show of hands.
Andy.
Any? Okay. Motion carries. All right.
We still have one more line item on 3.
Okay, now, next item on there.
Wait, the attorney is the CPA and our attorney firms. So I also have information from an attorney as well. We just do them all together. So this one was from Paul Winsky from Bailey and Young, which I have spoke to before. And these are my new questions, so we can answer these and I'll take it forward.
You actually talked to this man, Terry?
Yes, more than once. But it's been some time since I talked to him, so the first thing he asked, I mean, you only have one meeting a month, and that obviously is wrong. We have one every other month.
Why don't you read it? You did it.
Okay. This is what it says. I remember that you had only one meeting per month. How long do they usually last? Would the city want me to attend other types of meetings, such as planning, zoning, commission, zoning board of adjustment? Would the duties include prosecution services at municipal court? If so, how many court sessions per month and what type of dockets are covered? How much non-meeting work is involved, meetings with city administrators, staff, etc.? Roughly how many public information act requests are forwarded to the Attorney General every month on average? Are there any other duties that the city would like its attorneys to perform? Is the city considering a flat monthly rate or is it straight hourly? That's all I want at Friday after 5.
Well, I also talked to, Wayne Olson, Taylor Olson, Atkins, and Schwab, out of Fort Worth. That firm serves 25 cities in the Metroplex. They have 20 plus attorneys. They're municipal. The way that they would work with us, they will attend all meetings. They're also available by phone or email. They'll work closely with the mayor or whoever is the contact. Depending on the need and the budget, they'll do whatever they need to do. They will help with ordinances, resolutions, planning and zoning, pretty much anything that cities would require. They have a partner level, anybody that's 8 years or more experienced. They charge $235 an hour for that. And the associate level is anything less than 8 years experience. They charge $210 for that per hour. There's no upfront cost. It's however we need. If we don't need them to come to a meeting, just tell them and they would show up. But if one person can't go, they will assign someone else to do it. And depending on whether or not it needed to be an associate or a partner, that would be determined by us.
Okay. Well, I suggest we keep that in mind and also get the answers to Paul so we can respond as well.
Is there a list of things they need from us?
Sir?
Is there a list of things they need from us? Or do they have a list of things from their other cities?
Since they've already worked with like Wilson and Cross Timber and quite a few others around, I think they've already determined that there's no conflict of interest. So they would be willing to do it, and if there was a problem with a certain attorney, they have others that are okay.
Those are reasonable fees. I've heard of that attorney, since he works with Cross Timbers.
Windows supposed to be really good.
What other fees do they have besides just an hourly rate? They charge for mobilization, do they charge?
Yeah, so we don't get nickel and dime with that.
Is there a minimum also, if they come out here?
It's just, they just go by the hourly rate, like they have to attend a meeting or like.
There's not like a yearly this and then that.
No.
But I'm sure it would be travel to from the hourly rate.
That's what he's asking. Are we gonna
No, I'm
get
sure.
a nickel and dime to death on top of that?
That the electrician charges for
There's
travel.
no
I'm sure.
retainer.
What's that?
They don't require a retainer, they just work with us. On an as-needed basis. And litigation, if they would have to go that far, it does cost more.
So I just asked. He said, no.
And they would discuss that with us.
Okay, I think possibly what we need to do, on the next next meeting, put it on the agenda if possible. Either both of them come talk to us, let us talk to them. Then at a later date or at the time, we can select either one or the other.
I don't think that would be proper to have them both in the same meeting.
I'm not talking about in both of them being at the same time. I'm talking about
That's kind of what you said.
one outside, one in here, we're going to talk to,
Okay, so separate meetings.
separate meetings.
Okay. Let me just clarify. I didn't understand that. Okay.
You mean separate interviews, same meeting? Separate interviews, same meeting, is that what you mean?
Set one up for 7:30,
It's
3:30.
possible we could have them both at the same time, at the same meeting. Yeah.
Same day?
Same day, yeah,
7:30 and 8:30 or something like that?
yeah.
Okay.
Can we go from,
That'd give us an hour or something
Yeah.
to discuss with them. They're asking us a lot of questions about us, and I feel like we need to ask them questions.
I agree.
Not just say, well, this and that. So, that's agreeable. We'll put them on the agenda for the next meeting, which will be October.
I need approval on this.
You want?
This for Paul Winowski to respond to his questions, which are really no to most of it. But just tell him how many meetings that we have, what the city requires to attend, planning and zoning, but we don't have any of that.
In order to invite them to the meeting, you'd have to answer the question.
So, is there anything on there that would matter? I mean, we can just. Okay, so I'll just respond to these. I don't think I need approval for that. When Andy was on the phone, I'm sure he answered some basic questions like this as well. How many meetings we have, certain matter in mind, so I can answer that.
Okay.
So you need a motion to have them invited to the next meeting?
Yes, and you make, that is agreeable with everyone. Someone make a motion that.
I'll make my first motion, we invite both these attorneys to the next meeting.
Okay, now here's a second.
I'm second.
Jack, second, all in favor, show of hands. Terry,
I had my hands up way ahead of time.
you just know the fast kid. Okay. The last item on the agenda is the status of the background check for the city secretary. And
Yep, that was mailed to, Mrs. Alvin and posted on August 6th, and I have not received anything back yet. It was sent, return request received request.
I have not received anything that's intended for an employee.
It was sent to the same address as your check.
Okay. But I'm saying, I haven't received anything that's intended for an employee to fill out and send back. Provide information to third party,
Did you receive?
not something for an employee.
I put a motion that we table this because I've done a lot more research on this, and there's so many legal, liability to this, there's gonna have a process in place. What's more I read about it, it's almost discrimination to just call out one employee without a process in place, an employee that's been here for over 7 months. Let me read you one of those things. There's also penalties from the Fair Credit Act, the Consumer Reporter Agency, or in some cases, the use of consumer reports, or the furniture for other information of the Consumer Reporting Agency violates FCRA, you may be able to sue the state we would be sued against state and federal court. So we need our new attorney, whoever that might be, to look over our process before we do the process. So I would suggest that maybe you table this until we have an attorney in place, and then we have the process in place and approved by the city council.
If you make the motion, you take.
I make a motion that we table the background check for the city secretary.
Can I ask a question?
Second,
Yeah.
wait a minute.
I have a question, I'm trying to ask a question before the motion. Is that okay? What kind of background check is this?
It was one that I was going to run through by GPS. It's pretty standard.
Basically looks for prior felony conviction. And that's it, right?
Nothing exotic.
The problem is we have a process approved in place.
I understand.
I wasn't going to go to an accurate level.
Okay,
It was just,
I understand. I'm just curious.
We haven't,
That's it.
I mean, it's nice.
Okay, do I hear a second on Terry's motion to table it? Second,
I actually would like to make a motion before I even answer that question, but we have a motion on the table. I'm not sure what the process is there.
We don't have a process. That's the liability that's been put upon the city if we continue on at this rate.
And I'm just gonna blurt it out in the meeting, I'd like to make a motion that everybody at this table get a background check.
But that needs to be on the process, I totally agree.
That's
Totally
fair.
agree. But we don't have it in place, and so we can't make one person do it without having to say it's not you.
I'd like to speak for a second. If you go back to the June 7th minutes,
go ahead.
Mr. Bode, Mr. Mabry, and Kelly were to have background checks run on them before they could spend city funds.
Yes, correct.
And we all agree on it.
Councilmember Bode made a motion for Mayor Mabry, Councilmember Bode, and the Secretary often be on the accounts after they background check.
That's the same night I was sworn in and I said, could you please do a background check on me? So it never comes up again.
No, we ain't gonna waste the money here.
I said, because I didn't want it to ever come up again.
Mine was by so fast, it just, wait.
No, glad you brought that up, because that is reiterates that you're right, we all need to have background check, but you just can't say one person does, you need to.
It just keeps coming back to
And
haunt
it's
us.
approved by the attorney, so we're not in legal liability, and that's what we are, the way that it's set up right now. So I'm in motion.
It's not costing the city a lot of money, and it's getting this off the table. Instead of table, please.
No, it's having it approved properly, because it's liability, so you can't just come out and say it. An attorney has to look at it and say, this is proper, because if not, we could actually be sued as a city for not making it proper. And if we get an attorney and doesn't take a year, it shouldn't take that long.
This would have never come up if she had been hired properly.
She was hired very properly.
No, she was not.
Let me tell you what, she's
She
hired one in
didn't
the
have-
meetings.
We did not have a background check on her then. We
You
did
never
not have
required
an
any employee to have a
application.
background check. You should have done it at that time, not 7 months after the fact.
We tried. We tried when she was hired.
Never
We didn't
heard
even
that.
advertise the position.
Okay, we're over that. Can we be
I will second your motion to table it and have the attorney look at it. Take out the proper form to protect our liability.
Trying to make a point.
And when you get to see, yeah, they would be exonerated.
Is it, no, wait, so, Andy second for that.
Okay, all in favor of tabling it? Nice. Okay. Yeah, it was like it. But, it was, sorry.
No, you might see some trees trimmed here pretty soon. I do some tree trimming.
Okay, do I hear a motion that we adjourn?
Anybody have anything to say?
Make a motion to adjourn?
Okay,
I'm
all in
going to
favor?
Got a second? Let's call
Second.
it.
Okay.
Vote.
Shortest meeting for you.
All in favor? Sit down, Terry.
Aye.
Jack?
Yes, yeah, okay, yeah.